Well, hello everybody. Hope you're having a great Friday evening so far. It is February, and yeah, we made it through January. We were talking about it the other day. It's been a crazy, crazy month. But yeah, there's still 11 to get crazier. But yeah, we're gonna be talking about spy pigeons to a whole bunch of things. Sexy Jesus picture and Trump throwing papers. But yeah,
Maybe.
yeah, we'll go over
But we'll
all
get
that
into
more.
that.
So you're watching Borderline Banter. My name is Mike. I appreciate y'all being here. If you haven't already, please hit that follow button. We appreciate it. We're 20 away from our new goal of 250. That'd be great to make it to that, so we can set a
Yep.
new and higher goal. And you can go to our website, Borderline Banter, check out old episodes, and there's a lot of stuff on there that you can check out. But yeah, let's get get the show started. As always,
Yeah.
moving that mouse around, we have Dustin. Dustin, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Glad it's Friday. Welcome to February.
Yeah, well,
Black History Month here in America. Do they do that
yeah.
in Canada
Yes, but shouldn't
in February?
yeah, but shouldn't
Okay.
we be talking about Black History every month, just like everyone's history? But,
Well,
no,
I mean,
um,
we do.
but yeah, it's Groundhog Day too.
There's an
So,
emphasis.
yeah, sorry, well, air my mouth. But yeah, anything to say? How was your weekend?
It hasn't started yet.
Week. I said week.
Oh. Oh, okay. We can check the tape on that. Week pretty good. Things have kind of slowed down work-wise, so I've been able to do some Power World. A lot of Power World. Too much Power World.
Getting old, and I fell the other day. I slipped on some ice. Yeah, I'm hurt, but don't get old or
Yeah.
ice. But yeah,
Unfortunately, we don't have snow or ice right now, but I think we're gonna get some tomorrow. Maybe we'll see.
Good luck with the headaches. But yeah, let's get this show going. Yeah, as you
Something
can see in
about
our
a
title.
pigeon?
Yeah, a Chinese spy pigeon.
Oh no!
There. From the global news, live and let free. Pigeon cleared from being a suspect Chinese spy. Look at that. Does that pigeon look like a spy?
Kinda.
Like
That eye doesn't look real.
He looks kind of suspicious, you know. He's like looking right at the camera. What the frig, you know?
Live and let fly.
Yeah, that guy, like, he's suspicious. That guy in the background, he's like,
Hey, he's no longer
don't watch your mouth,
suspicious.
but he's like, that pigeon, you know? Like, he's up to something. We all know that. Yeah, Plain, you're right. He is a sketchy freaking
Pigeon that was captured 8 months back near a port. A pigeon that was captured 8 months back near a port after being suspected to be a Chinese spy is released at a vet hospital in Mumbai, India, Tuesday, January 30th.
Okay, so when did they catch this pigeon? Oh. Does it say?
Wait, is that at
8 months back. So 8
months back.
This pigeon was held unconstitutionally in prison.
Well, yeah, 8 months is way too long. That's 240 days. You're supposed to, any more than like, I don't know, it's like more than a week and it's illegal.
With other pigeons, or
well, I know it's India though, so maybe India has different laws. Maybe they can keep pigeons in custody longer.
But yeah, so India police cleared as a suspected Chinese spy pigeon after 8 months detention. I'm gonna try that. I'm done.
Detention.
Anyway, and released into the wild Tuesday. News agency Press Trust of India reported. Wow. Yeah, that's a weird one. But yeah. The pigeon ordeal began in May when it was captured near a port in Mumbai. The 2 rings tied to its legs, carrying words that looked like Chinese. So it was a pigeon carrying pigeon. That's what he was. He was writing a letter to somebody. Like
maybe.
Well, maybe. Like, what else would a pigeon be doing?
Taking debris to build its nest.
Yeah, but it said wrapped.
Birds build their nests out of anything.
But look, it says it was like with 2 rings tied to its leg. Pretty sure pigeons can't tie rings to their legs.
Yeah.
You know, maybe they can. Maybe there's, and if they could, he's definitely a Chinese spy. But
look, a knot is just a pattern of just the rope twisting and turning in a certain ways. I mean, if you get caught up in stuff, it can turn into a knot pretty quick without you tying a knot.
Police suspected it was involved in espionage and took it.
Look, this is an innocent pigeon. You're trying to make it sound guilty.
Later sending it to
Mumbai's buy soccer buy.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be rude, but that's super hard to say.
Holy cow!
Anyway, he went to the hospital. Mentioned to note the pigeon the pigeon was an open water racing bird from Taiwan that had escaped and made its way to India. With police permission, the bird was transferred to the Bombay Society for the for the prevention of cruelty to animals, whose doctors set it free.
Well, there you go. So, open water racing, maybe that's why it has things on it.
So
I have no idea what open water racing pigeons
never
look
heard that
like.
before, yeah.
Mumbai police could not be reached for comment.
This is not the first time a bird has come under police suspicions. What the frig? You know, like, okay, like, I don't know what year they think it is. Like, it's like, come on. Like, but
2020,
but in theory,
there was another
don't a
one.
whole bunch of people in New York think those birds aren't real, and they're all. Isn't that a thing?
I don't. It's not
Maybe
just New York. There's a whole bunch of people who think
there's a whole conspiracy about how birds are robots or something.
Yeah, birds. Yeah, they're. Do you have evidence that birds are real? I don't.
I have friends that have birds, so yes.
Well, how do you know it's real? Have you been inside that bird?
I had a cat that ate a bird once, because my mom had a bird and got a cat. Not a good plan, but he reached in and grabbed the bird, and yeah, the bird had body parts.
I mean, the thing is that you could digest some of these things, like, you know, if they've got a camera in the eye, you can digest a camera.
Do you believe birds are robots?
I'm not convinced that they're not.
Okay, so I'm pretty convinced they are. That makes me understand you a lot more, though, tonight. Thank you.
Look, if birds are real, you should be able to prove it easily. But look, in 2020, 2016, and 2024, is that a coincidence that every 4 years there's another bird that's cleared?
Oh, well,
this could be part of the whole make birds seem real propaganda.
Maybe. Like, the Chinese have been sending balloons. We caught those. We've seen those. Why would they not just send a balloon there? They've already done that. They don't care if they get caught.
Do you know how many pigeons are in America right now?
You probably just looked it up. So I'm gonna say,
I should look it up.
I'm gonna say 3.7 billion. That's a pretty big number, but I don't know.
Well, there's 12 different species. That's not. So North America, I guess that's not helpful. I don't need to know how many different ones there are. Well, there's somewhere between 260 and 400 million pigeons worldwide.
That's like.
So, and how many of those are spies?
Okay, so that's way off my billion number. There's only 1 million?
400 million.
That means like 300 of them are in New York.
Well, we probably got like 100 million in America. That's how we do it. We're number one.
Yeah. Pigeons like trash.
So wait, in 2016, the pigeon was taken into custody, found with a note that threatened Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Like, that's explain how that one's not.
Okay, that one is, but that could just be some.
That's an actual spy.
Yeah, not from
this one's taken into custody.
How's that a spy?
And it
That's just a threat pigeon. It's not a spy pigeon. It's a threat pigeon. You know?
Dude, this one just says it was taken into custody. It doesn't say it was released.
They've
had this one for 8 years. This is an 8-year detention. On what? A note? A piece of paper that said, I don't like the Prime Minister. Really? That's all it takes for a bird to be 8 years? Sad. The other one was a fisherman's bird.
Well, pigeons were used lots in war and stuff over the years. They actually are not a dumb animal. Not dumb.
So you're saying they did it on purpose?
Yeah, no. I just think India is a little worried about something, or they're hiding something if they're that worried about pigeons. Let's see what India is hiding.
This 2021 flew across a militarized zone.
Maybe he missed a sign.
I mean,
like sometimes the signs are small, you don't get to see them.
But you can see why they would react on that one. And the first one was confirmed as spy. So this third one had a predecessors that were like, well, remember that one with the note, and remember that one that went in the war zone.
But yeah, the world's gone to shit, and
look at this asshole.
The world's gone to shit, and they're like, "Oh, pigeons! Pigeons are the problem." Like, leave the poor guy alone. I'm pretty surprised. I'm pretty sure that guy in the back is still not convinced.
Well, because he saw it up close. He saw something he can't tell us.
Yeah.
Look, this is easily an optical camera.
Okay, but
no question.
Now saying that the bird was in lockup for 8 months, would it be able to fly properly? Would it be able to live on its own, or is it just going to go up there and die to the?
I don't know. What does bird lockup look like?
I don't know. Where was a bird kept? I don't know. Like in a cage, I'm assuming. But Like, if that's a bird, it looks pretty healthy. But how do we know it's even the same bird?
Yeah, we don't.
And aren't some birds just considered rodents some places? So why would they even let it go? Which is good. I'm glad they did.
Well, yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you just like if you think an animal is doing like spy work, why don't you just kill it? It's fine. Especially if it's a pigeon.
Maybe give up all the information to have a conversation with it. Like, why did it take 8 months to figure this out? You know?
Well, wouldn't you need to kill it to find out that there's nothing inside of its head?
Probably gave it like some. They waterboard it a little bit. You know?
I don't see
like,
any signs
talk,
of
you
surgery.
little bird, talk, and then they put him back, start pouring the water in his face again.
They didn't confirm anything about the insides of the skull of this bird.
Probably took.
I see no surgical.
They
There's
probably
nothing.
Yeah, they probably took X-rays. Like if this is real, if that's real, it's sketched out. It's like some freaking crackhead peeking through the.
You can make things out of polymers, plastics that don't show up on X-rays. So I'm just saying, like, if I saw surgical scars, that'd make sense. I'm not convinced.
Well, you can. It could have been in the belly. It could be healed.
Look, this guy back here is not convinced either.
But yeah, I don't know. I think it's pretty crazy that they had a pigeon in. So
live and let fly.
So now again, like, see, now Canada and India has been having some issues, but I don't know.
Oh yeah, that's true.
India is kind of paranoid, so maybe they weren't right about that. Sure, they were, but still, I think my country's.
I mean, I'm surprised they didn't say that it looked like Canadian words on it.
Yeah, they probably blamed them, but hey, I don't think everything else on
sending spy pigeons.
I don't think everything else on spy pigeons.
No, that's pretty good. Spy pigeons.
Hey.
Next up from AP News, too pretty? Easter poster depicting a handsome, fresh-faced Jesus prompts criticism in Spain.
Now, this might put a 10 warning there for those who might get offended by some religious stuff. Because I saw the picture. Some people got really offended.
So. We didn't do that for the Church of Satan story.
I wasn't really worried about.
It was a religion story. We didn't do a content warning for religion.
We're learning here at the
Banter. I'm just saying, you got to remember it on all stories, not just Jesus.
We can't go back in time, so.
Yeah. Unfortunately, trigger warning. The picture's already showing. This is pretty Jesus.
Yeah, there's pretty Jesus. Yeah.
That's not accurate. So what's with the what's the three things here?
That's got to be something probably that they. Is it? Again, what is it? What religion is it? Christianity, but what? Like, is it an off branch in Spain that has something like that? Because that must mean something.
There is no crown of thorns, no suffering face, and just two tiny stab wounds on the hand.
Yeah, I see. I just had to scratch my screen there to see if that was a real scratch. It was like, is that where the nail went through, or on his hand there?
Oh yeah, that's what stigmata looks like. Yeah.
Because I was looking there, it's like it could be. Make sure my screen wasn't dirty, right? Like.
Oh, Jay's Blade said I'd get high with that Jesus.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a pretty Jesus. It's not accurate at all, but
yeah, freaking, I know, like, hey,
but this is a Jesus worth worshiping.
Yeah, yeah, geez, like,
Spain is mad though.
Are they?
All right, I guess. Why would you be mad about this, anyways? It's just a picture.
I guess there's been lots of pictures of him without his shirt on, so I don't know. Because this isn't. I have no clue. Jesus is supposed to be sexy.
So it was a poster in a southern Spanish city of Seville that depicted the young, handsome Jesus wearing only a loincloth and unleashed a storm on social media, with some calling it an affront to the figure of Christ and others posting lewd remarks and memes poking fun at the image. Peanut just walked by.
I saw.
What that was. The poster by internationally recognized Seville artist Salustiano Garcia Cruz shows a fresh-faced Jesus without a crown of thorns, no suffering face, and minuscule wounds to the hands and ribcage. It was commissioned and approved by the General Council of Brotherhoods, which organizes the renowned and immensely popular Holy Week processions ahead of Easter in Seville.
Okay,
I've never heard of this, but like this General Council of Brotherhoods approved this, so.
I know. I was thinking. Now you're thinking, it's like those holes on his hands, because he was nailed to the cross, right? I don't think you're right. Those holes look very small. Because I've never seen a lot of pictures, and I've seen a lot of pictures. They're usually much bigger. So they're usually a huge hole, because that little hole would have held him up on the cross.
Well, and also they typically don't depict that it was supposed to be his hands and feet.
Yeah, but you can't see his
Like
feet in there.
99% of them, the feet are just nothing. They're
But
just
I'm pretty
dangling
sure the
usually.
feet are crossed, most of them, bottom and nailed together. I
Most
could
of
be
them,
wrong.
no. That's what I'm saying. Like 99% of them, I've seen a lot of Jesuses, lots of Jesuses, and I always look for that because like it's one of the common things they leave out. Everybody knows about the hands nailed to the boards, but also like in terms of physics, like crucifixion makes no sense.
Anyway, we're
What a
not here to
dumb
talk
way
about
to
that.
what a dumb way to torture somebody.
Oh, they didn't have much resources back in the day.
They had no back in the day. They had better torture
He
devices.
was a carpenter. The nails and hammer were there
Oh,
handy.
they
It was
hit.
a
I get
crime of
you.
opportunity, right?
No,
So,
no, I forgot the carpenter part. That makes it
the
burn a
crime of
little bit more.
opportunity, though.
And they didn't have a table saw, so
Yeah.
yeah, 2x4s and nails. That's probably that's how you get a
We
carpenter.
just solved it.
Mhm.
2024 years later.
So they killed Jesus because he was a carpenter.
I don't think. But anyway, we're not talking
He did a
that.
bad job on their houses that week.
So yeah, so people are mad. Why are people mad?
Because he wasn't suffering
Yeah,
enough,
okay,
and he
yeah.
wasn't hurt enough.
Maybe that's it. Yeah,
Literally,
yes.
is what I'm saying.
Have you watched Passion of the Christ?
Yeah,
I haven't. I never watched it. I don't think.
don't unless you like seeing Mel Gibson scream
Yeah, I've heard that, but no.
over and over
Yeah,
and
no.
over. Have you seen Braveheart?
Not for a long time.
But you remember the very end where they're taking his guts out and shit?
No, I don't. Like I said, I seen it when it came out years ago. Probably should watch it.
Ah, okay. Well, that's when he's doing his.
Spoiler alert, by the
You
way.
could take my liberty, but you'll never take freedom, or some shit. Whatever that line is. And then after that, they start gutting and stretching him with the horses, and he starts doing exactly the same thing Passion of the Christ is for 2 hours. So I'd already seen it. Was the other part like when I saw Passion, I'm like, I've seen that. It seems so familiar. And there's no blue face paint. I love Jesus with little holes. I like my Jesus to be the infant baby version.
Yeah. But yeah, so they're upset because it's not. It's a Catholic, but they're upset because they're showing him in a different way. And I can see it. People don't like.
Oh, they got a thing
people,
going for it. A campaign. 14,000 people have signed a thing on
people don't like
change.org.
change, right? As it says change there. But people don't like that.
People don't like change.org.
That's very ironic I said that. But like they don't like change in life.
People like, they like stability.
Yes,
people
exactly.
prefer stability.
I think that's what people are mad about. They grew up their whole life with that Bible and that. And Spain is actually I'm pretty sure it's a much more religious country than I'd say Canada and America. Or for the Catholics. So I don't know that. Don't quote me on that, but and they take stuff pretty serious there.
Too serious. But the artist Garcia defended
their right.
the work.
That's their God.
And dismissed his critics. It's old-fashioned. Oh, they have a quote from him. There's nothing revolutionary in the painting. There is contemporaneity. But all the elements that I have used are elements that have been used in the last 7 centuries in sacred art. I don't see at what element people who don't like it don't like it.
But no matter what, anything happens, someone's gonna have a problem with it, right? Like I'm pretty sure the old picture of Jesus, no, but no matter what, I'm sure they can change it to please the people that are mad now. That will still a lot of people who are just the way it is.
Well, yeah, you can't make everyone happy. So I guess there's some conservative groups that said that the depiction of Jesus was effeminate or homoerotic. Well, I think that says more about the conservative group than it does about the Jesus picture, doesn't it?
Stupid sexy Flanders. Flanders.
If you're worried about sex, I don't. But if you're worried about sexy Flanders,
no, that's when they're skiing and then Flanders is in the snowsuit, and then Homer starts having daydreams. It's like because Flanders is all sexy in the snowsuit.
That's awkward. Yeah. I didn't know Simpsons did that.
Yeah,
but Simpsons did that.
I can probably find anything we talk about. I can probably relate to the Simpsons. But yes,
they're the longest running show now, aren't they? Don't they actually have that title? They were trying to pass like Gunsmoke and some other shit that aren't on anymore. I thought. There's Monday Night Wrestling.
Carnation Street's going on for years. Days of Our Lives. And all that. But animation, yes. But yeah.
Anyways, a gay Christ.
Gay Christ.
A gay Christ because he looks sweet and is handsome. Come on, we're in the 21st century.
Yeah. Jesus was gay. Oh no, we're done. But
the artist said he used his son Horatio as the model for the poster.
Okay, that's even
that makes it worse, right?
That's kind of creepy.
You see how that's worse?
Okay, take it down. Remove it, please.
I'm actually, I've switched teams now. I'm on team take it down for a different reason.
Yeah, what the frig? So
what's going on with Garcia and Horatio over here?
Yeah, DPS should be called.
It caught us a little more by surprise because everything was done with respect, Horatio said. Yeah, I bet it was. A lot of controversy comes from the fact that the model is too good. The Christ too handsome, too attractive. Yeah.
Alrighty.
But hey, they've gotten some compliments and good wishes from people. Some people like it.
Exactly. Some people like it. Like it. Playing awful. It's like, hey, love Jesus with whole. Love. I missed that comment, but playing awful. I love Jesus with little holes. Not my words. That's a direct quote.
I like the poster. Some posters are riskier. Some more classical. Some are more general.
Yeah, but it's all.
Oh, that's the mayor. The mayor likes it and says that the whole controversy is artificial.
Well, see, it is what it is. People can be not happy no matter what.
Oh, the Brotherhood's ignoring calls to replace it. So, and the Holy Week end of March. So you've only got a couple months to get them to do it. Otherwise, it was there. And if it was there, then what does that say about you?
That yes, that is kind of weird how you modeled your son in that.
Yep.
That's own, right?
So, no, I mean there's I mean that's there's a limit to
Alabama's got someone in the running now. Be careful.
There are always limits to each of their own. And this is that
was
they're
horrible.
Getting on that
sorry
border.
From Alabama. My bad.
Look, I am sorry if you're from Alabama, regardless of it through that sentence or anything. Just I'm sorry if you're from Alabama.
All right, well, let's move on. See what else we have.
Most people there didn't have a choice. Okay. Gizmodo has our next one. Nintendo turned Gary Bowser into a real-life villain. The Canadian programmer will spend the rest of his life paying Nintendo over $14 million after the company made an example out of him for modding its consoles.
What?
Yeah. Canadians. What are you doing?
What did he do? I didn't know who this guy is.
Modded consoles. Well, I'm not sure what.
Yes, I know. Like for instance, like we play Grand Theft Auto RP. That's mods, right? Most consoles can't actually do that.
Right. Well, without breaking your warranty and shit. But like, because like you could jailbreak your iPhone, but then you couldn't get Apple to work on it.
Okay. Yeah.
But it wasn't illegal to jailbreak.
I think is it illegal now? I heard something. Maybe it is.
Well, all jailbreaking is allowing you to install third-party software. I mean, that's just like
and in theory you should be allowed
business practice to not be allowed to do that.
Yeah, I was gonna say in theory you should be allowed to. You bought their product, you pay for it. It is your product, like
this guy's giving me a weird vibe.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Like I don't see him as a coder, but
well, he's Canadian and he doesn't look friendly. He looks like he's angry. Look at that.
That's what everybody says about us. Like, fuck, we're not angry.
He's glaring. Yes. He's glaring.
Because he's got glasses on.
His lips furled. I don't even know what that means, but I've read it so many times.
When someone goes to take your picture, do you not look weird?
Oh. I'm not photogenic.
Yes, so. We know. But I'm kidding. But
all right, Gary Bowser loves video games, but Nintendo turned him into a villain. No, not just because he shares a name with Bowser, the actual villain of the Mario franchise. The human Bowser helped mod Nintendo's gaming consoles so people could play free pirated versions of its video games.
Okay, that's a different story there.
Well, there you go.
Now,
then one day he woke up with 3 rifles pointed at his head and $14 million in debt to Nintendo.
Canada? They went at him with rifles in Canada?
3 rifles, yeah. They raided. They did a midnight raid for Nintendo games.
But if you have a whole bunch
that's probably the craziest part of this whole story is that they sent guns in for
if you have a whole bunch of heroin or fentanyl on you, they're just like, well, enjoy the day, sir. All right, but yeah, God forbid.
I mean, at least in the drug trade world, people who are moving large amounts of drugs, guns make sense.
Yes,
like,
but then in Canada they don't. But I'm just being facetious.
But pirating video games?
Yeah. So.
Who has a gun and pirates video games? These are not the same people.
No,
I mean, you might be a gun owner, but like.
But in Canada, it's very hard to own a gun. No, nowadays it's not as bad.
But maybe they looked this guy up because, like, looking at this guy, looks like
That's
a guy
very
who would
judgmental about you, though. How can you say that? Like,
because he's got a beard.
So what? Santa's got a beard.
Guys with beards are more likely to have guns statistically.
Well, guys with beards have more patience too. So.
All right. Well, having a gun doesn't have anything to do with patience.
Yeah, you should have patience if you have a gun. So.
Well, him having a gun doesn't have anything to do with
exactly.
Him having a gun is why they showed up with guns.
There's no point because unless he was
online. If he was a gun owner, showing up with 3 guns makes a lot more sense than if he's not a gun owner.
But it doesn't matter. Like, so if you own one handgun and you're a legal gun owner, they can't just do that because your gun's supposed to be locked up in a different room. Same, the ammunition locked up in a different case. So.
At least here in America, the police have to be one level of force above you. So if they're aware you have a gun, they'll bring 3 guns. That's to be ahead of you, one level above you on the force thing.
Let's see what else. Let's see what happened. But yeah,
because they don't want a fair fight. They want an unfair fight. That's why they do that.
I'm all for paying for video games. It gives us entertainment, and people bitch that games are more money because people do pirate them. That's how.
Now, if this is talking about NES and SNES, I'm gonna be pissed. This better be a more modern console.
Now, if this is like if this is like all the thing, you're right. Because I go in game emulators all the time online, but they get sued.
Oh, okay. Nintendo Switch. Okay. Yeah, he's going for the current console. That's how they get you. If you go for the current console.
100%. I made not the gun part. $14 million seems a little harsh because Nintendo doesn't give a shit, but whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, the day that happened, I was sleeping in my bed. It was 4 a.m. I've been drinking all night. Bowser said in an interview with The Guardian. And suddenly I wake up and see 3 people surrounding my bed with rifles aimed at my head. They dragged me out of the place, put me in the back of a pickup truck, and drove off to the Interpol office.
Wait, Interpol's like, why would you go to Interpol? Isn't that for like foreign problems?
Because America's U.S. and you're Canada, maybe? I don't know. Or needing attention to Japan.
Wait, where is this taking place?
Where is this taking place? It doesn't say. Yeah.
He's Canadian, so I was just assuming we're in Canada.
We are a pretty assumption of that.
But you're right. If he was a Canadian in America or somewhere else.
Yeah, but a group of, so.
All right. So Bowser says he'll be paying off that $14.5 million settlement for the rest of his life. A 54-year-old Canadian programmer was part of Team Executor. They really like Pokemon, apparently. A group that produced equipment to bypass Nintendo's anti-piracy software. Department of Justice's Brian Rabbit called them a notorious international criminal group. Wow. That's quite the title for him.
Okay, so no, I don't agree with pirating games. Like, I always think you should pay for the game or have someone buy it for you. But yeah, you should always pay for it because people work on them hard. You want that entertainment, pay for it, Like, don't be a...
Well, I mean, I'm not going to pay anybody to play tic-tac-toe.
No, but they spend hours on these games, like Pal World, for instance. How many hours do you think they spent on that,
3 years.
Yes, a long time. 3 years. There you go. They spent 3 years making that game.
Yeah.
And so someone just can be like, oh, well, who cares? Why should we pay them, right? It's like, no, you should. Again, it's not even that expensive. Right? I'm just saying in general, just pay the games.
So Bowser says he was only paid a few $100 a month for his work. So he wasn't even making much for doing this. Yeah. Well, I mean, you need to be making retirement money if you're going to be doing something like this, right?
Yeah, but he probably just didn't think it would happen. How did they link it back to Wonder?
Well, they're not really even talking about anything about what he did in this article so far. The closest they've said is something about essentially adding some dongles to a Nintendo Switch, but that's, well, as soon as you put the word essentially, everything after it isn't what happened.
Yeah.
So but so I don't know what he did.
I'll pay him what I can, which won't be very much money. That's for sure, brother.
So Nintendo called Bowser's jail sentence a unique opportunity to send a message about video game piracy. It's the purchase of video games that sustains Nintendo, and it's the games that make people smile.
Remember back in the day when you went to the theater, you get down in your theater, then the lights would go off, then it'd show some sketchy parking lot, and some guy would go and be breaking into a car. Like, don't record this video.
You wouldn't pirate you wouldn't break into a car. You wouldn't steal a baby.
But would you?
So why are you stealing movies?
Yeah. But again, I'm not gonna lie. Actually, I can say, you never know who's listening. But
look, on the other side of that coin, there's for everything there's a thief for that thing.
Yeah.
So there's not going to be a thing without a thief. So games and even Nintendo, you're not immune.
No, that's
You're
the
a
thing,
thing,
but
and everything has a thief.
seems pretty messed up. Like that seems pretty suspect.
How did they come up with that? If he's only getting hundreds of dollars,
he did not make him lose $14 million. Find out, get an estimate of how much he lost to you, which would probably be in the thousands. I'm guessing $1,000 range, in my opinion, if not less. Get him to pay that back, right?
I'll pay them what I can, which won't be very much. That's for sure.
Freaking go off the grid, man. Go off the grid. Get work for cash. Don't pay him a penny.
Don't pay him the bare minimum. Make your minimum payment.
Yeah. Did you actually? In Canada, there's a law. So say you owe $10,000 to somebody, and you call them up like, I only have $10 right now, and your bill is supposed to be your minimum payment's $100. If they say okay and accept that $10, you have to verbally get them to say it. You can't just put $10 in. You say, I only have 10. Will you accept that? And they accept that. That is your payment, and they cannot get mad. That is considered your payment.
Is that just in Canada?
I think so. I don't know. I can't say, but that is the thing. But they probably.
I feel like in America, verbal contracts don't hold up very often.
Yeah, verbal contracts don't hear like they can. A verbal contract, most places is a legal binding contract, but you have to prove he should.
Yeah, that's the biggest problem with the verbal contract.
I actually got ripped off by a place called Complete Shipping Solutions last year. I'm gonna call them out because they ripped me off lots of money. You can look them up. They're a horrible, shitty company. But yeah, they were closing down and they were moving to a different city, and I was paid to work for them. And it was a verbal contract that I was going to get a certain amount of bonus every month. And the contract was up in August, and they didn't promise me that. So I got a job August 1st. So I left. My last paycheck, they didn't give me my bonus. Like, oh, you're supposed to stay until the end of time. Like, no, it said August. He was like, oh well, too bad.
And they just never paid it out?
Nope. Oh. Actually, it's funny because they weren't answering me. Then I put a Google review on their thing. Within 5 minutes of me hitting send, they were calling me back. And then I didn't answer. And they reported, well, we're trying to contact you to deal with this, but you're not answering your phone. Fuck you. You know, everyone's out to scam you. But
yeah.
That's just another pet peeve of mine. But yeah, it was a verbal contract. That was a legal verbal contract we had. And I should have had him put it on paper. And the bullshit thing was, he said he would. I asked him 3 times over the 6 months it was that we're closing. He's like, I'm sorry, I'm busy. I should have knew.
Yeah. He was
that
never
piece
gonna
of shit
do it.
scum he is. So.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna call him out by name, but I'll call it the company because But yeah, sorry. But yeah, I don't think you should have to pay that much money. 10 grand.
Well, we don't know what he did yet.
Okay, but still, he said to pirate a game so people can get. Okay, we didn't, but $14 million of free shit.
Let's say as an example, if he made a device and that device he got that device and gave it to 1 million people, and those 1 million people used it each for 10 games. That's 10 million games. Games are about $50, actually about $70. Let's say 50. That's $500 million.
That's a very, very. But yeah, let's see.
So if he got this device out to 1 million people, whatever number, like I could see, I need to know what he did because there is a conceivable thing. Getting a device to 1 million people that lets them hack the latest Nintendo console.
Well, all I'm saying too, you're right, but we would have heard about that. If they hit 1 million people, we would have probably known one of the 1 million people did that because I know a lot of people Switches. I know you have a Switch, don't you? You would have probably known that. So.
Right. Well, what if you got it to 50,000?
Anyway, yeah, let's see. Okay, let's see what it says.
That's 500,000 games at $50.
Okay.
$2.5 million.
Yes, look at Nintendo
with the potential for more.
Nintendo logged a revenue of $8.7 billion last. Oh, holy shit! Yeah, $8.7 billion last month.
Oh, we kind of missed the part. This guy's got a foot issue. He's got a GoFundMe. He's got medical problems on top of this. So
yeah, no, it don't work. Don't pay.
I think he's got a situation where he can have disability and give them the minimum. Like you can't
milk a stone.
You can only take as much as is like, I don't know what Canada's laws are. There's a minimum that you can't take, right?
But anyway, I always I'm not 100% sure, but I always it's like you cannot milk a stone, right? Yeah, I said that.
You can't squeeze blood out of a turnip.
Yeah, there's several different words like that, but I always like that when you can't milk a stone. Because you can't. Nothing coming out of that stone. It is a saying. I've been saying it for 30 fucking years or 20 years or whatever. But
What if it's a stone that has significant cracks in it and had originally been recohesified with a milk glue substance.
Okay, sorry, I fucked it up. You can't squeeze water from a stone.
Oh.
Okay, so that's what it was. I haven't said it in many years because I am that stone with no water in.
I wish it was milk, so you'd have to address my question about
I kind of wish it was milk too.
Milk
right?
glue cohesion material holding a
Does
stone.
it go over? It doesn't actually say. It doesn't say how much he is, right? So
how much what?
How much he made the company lose?
No, just how much he's being ordered to pay. Which obviously, when court orders you to pay, that's not tied to just what you did.
Say 50 million. Say he even lost him 50 million. That's pennies. No, that's pennies of the billions.
True.
But we don't know. But yeah, that still doesn't matter. But still, it is, right? It is nothing.
So. Well, I mean, and depending on what it is, like if it was a device that allowed you to you would have the console and this device, and you would never buy another game. You would have every game for that console.
Okay, yeah, I see that. But
if it's that
seems pretty hard to do.
How do you calculate that? Those are customers you've just lost. You don't have a customer now.
But how do you? I don't know any technology that could do that. Like they could probably jailbreak it so you can get all the games, but.
Well, that's why I wish they would tell us a little more. All we have is that one freaking line here because we're at the end of the article, and all we had is that essentially adding some dongles to Nintendo Switches. Well,
essentially, isn't that means they don't know?
Well, apparently they knew enough that Canada sent people with guns to the guy's house to make sure he didn't run.
Then they should be using the word essentially, like
My man's might be innocent because they could not give me a detail of how he's guilty. Jay says I know all about this.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what this guy, the team executive did? Is it actually, like I was saying, a dongle that lets you play every game ever, or is it to play things prior to Switch, like the NES, SNES, N64?
Back before Pokemon Go came out, it was in America before Canada, right? Like I don't even knew that. But Pokemon Go was released in America much longer than in Canada. I got a third party on my phone, so I can download Pokemon Go before it was released in Canada, and I thought it was pretty cool. So, yes, it's an SD card adapts
3DS, Nintendo 3DS. It lets you play everything, including ROMs and homebrew. Okay.
Forever though, forever. I'm not sure. Is that forever or just for now? But okay, if that is okay, yeah. But then I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. What do you mean forever? If you have an NES emulator right now, it's forever. Well, I don't know what you mean by forever.
I don't know what that like.
I was trying to understand what generation of games he's allowing them to have access to. And if it's the Nintendo Switch era, that is obviously they're going to punish you.
Well, the Switch 2 is coming out in a few months.
But there are so many devices that let you play NES and SNES games, it's not even funny.
So look, he got the tool, like she says, he can get on that is Wish or much like that, but
there's a new SD card thing for Switch. I've been known to sell the little tool to get homebrew on Switch.
Oh,
I guess.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that stuff.
Yeah, from everything I'm hearing though, it's not the one thing I would think makes this 14 million make sense. So I'm thinking egregious, is my opinion. Like, if it's what it's sounding like now, it's not their current.
How dumb is Nintendo though? They probably spent all that money on lawyers. They spent all that time, money, and blah blah blah. Look at the guy. He probably rakes in $20,000 a year. Come on, he's gonna be able to give him, like what's he gonna give
you? This guy, you're not gonna get anything, and like you're getting nothing.
He come on, like people in welfare in Canada don't make much money. They get enough. They get their money for housing. They get their money for a little bit of food, and if that.
Well, and here's the thing: on Nintendo Switch right now, they've got the NES and SNES apps that you can pay them for and have access to a limited library of NES and SNES games, and they might have some other ones. So that's why this is a direct problem to a current product they have. The current Nintendo Switch product is selling an old product again. They're selling me the same game I already paid for once.
Yeah.
They all do it. I've paid for Final Fantasy 7, 8, and 9 again for some reason because I'm an idiot.
Yeah, what happens? I think about
I did that.
I think about Grand Theft Auto like 4 times in 2.
So And also, my real problem with the way they're doing it is they've made the NES and SNES, but they've said limited library. Why? I have other devices and ways that have been the entire library of NES and SNES games already available to. So trickling this out to your customers is a middle finger, if we're being honest. Give us access to the entire library of NES games. There was only like 160 of them or something. It wasn't even that many. Like, it's stingy in a stupid way. And they want to have updates, quarterly updates, where they say, hey, we're adding these 5 games to the NES. Doesn't that make you excited? Hey, you don't have any points.
Yeah, I don't have any points. Everyone try that.
Yeah.
Everyone put points in. See how many points you have. I've added some stuff to the chat to play with. Sorry to go off there. Yeah.
But it's just annoying. Like, sell me my old console once. Stop selling it to me over and over and over again. It's just dumb.
They're allowed to rip you off thousands, but rip them off a penny. You're gonna.
But you're selling me something that was from the 80s and 90s that I already paid you for in the 80s, 90s, 2000s, and then I pirated them.
That's why you can go on Game Emulators.
And then I might pay for them again in the 20s.
You can just type in Nintendo Game Emulator in Google, and you have all.
Don't. That's illegal. We're not giving legal. We're not gonna say to go do that. That's illegal.
What? I didn't know it was illegal. Really?
Emulators are illegal.
Are they? Oh, I did not.
Well, the emulator itself might not be, but the ROMs are.
Oh.
Because you're talking about you got to pay people for their art just a moment ago, right? But ROMs are not paying for their art.
Emulators are those all 80 games and 90 games, and I played when I was a kid.
Yeah, you can't. You had to pay for it again. Is what they're saying.
But I don't.
If you didn't keep your NES, that's your fault.
But I'm not gonna. Yeah, I guess.
Look, I'm not gonna say what I have in this house, but I have ways to play every game on the first 5 consoles for Nintendo. So.
And you said that. That's just gonna take how long the guy comes.
Yeah, I have ways. Do you want to know? What one of the ways is?
Probably shouldn't say it.
Purchasing them.
Ah!
You want to know what another way is? Trading with somebody. You could trade physical games with each other. Yeah. Legal to do. You want any more ways I could play every game? I'll just keep listing the legal ones.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, I think I'm done with this. Don't rip off big corporations that don't care about people.
I feel bad for Bowser, but I'm not going to go to his GoFundMe.
No. Like I said, he's not gonna pay. You can't squeeze water from a stone. I'll say the quote.
Yeah.
So wait, what is this one? The drone? It's okay. There it is. From Gizmodo, Snap recalls all of its selfie drones due. Snap recalls all of its selfie drones due to a fear of they'll become flying fireballs. That sounds kind of fun, like
sort of.
Selfie. What the fuck is going on in this world?
So Snap is urging the people who bought the Pixie, I guess that's the name of their selfie drone, to quote immediately stop using it and quote remove the battery and stop charging it. What is this? It? This is Pixie. Okay. Yep. Yeah. Okay. This is actually. There it is. It flies up, and then you do a pose, and it takes.
Yeah, I have seen some of those before. That's ridiculous.
Well, imagine if it turned into a fireball.
Where's the string? I don't believe it. I fell for that one like 20 years ago at a shopping mall. Turned out it was a string the whole.
So a couple of years ago, Snap, the company behind Snapchat, we've heard of that. Yes. So I guess there you go.
It's a feature, not a bug.
Decided that the selfie production pipeline needed to be improved upon. Bathroom mirrors and selfie sticks were not cutting it. No. Snap decided that the next evolution in the art of taking pictures of yourself would involve a flying robot. I cast Fireball.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think that's a Fireball. I think there's a
YouTuber with channel Fireball or something. Yeah. He's a guy who does a wizard thing. It's pretty funny.
So it'll launch the Pixie, a tiny yellow drone designed to follow you around and take cute candies of you. Well, candids. You did stuff. Well, you did stuff.
You did stuff.
That's versus English and me.
So it was $185 to $250, and then they halted development 4 months after it launched.
Yeah. Well, who's gonna buy that? What 50-year-old? Actually, they probably.
Your friendly flying camera.
Yeah. Oh, friendly Spider-Man. That should be copyrighted. They should be. So.
So Snap is urging the small number of people who did buy the Pixie to immediately stop using it. So what does it mean small number? How few people bought it? Hmm. So it sounds like the device's lithium battery could overheat, potentially catching on fire.
71. They say roughly 71,000 units were sold.
Okay, that's quite a few.
Now, question.
And
I'm not sure how
they've
America
had
works.
4 reports on battery overheating and bullets.
Hey, gameplay.
And 1 minor battery fire.
You know what? That's probably better odds than phones.
Now you can get a full refund if you bought one. You have to return the entire drone to Snap, which is something both the government and Snap are encouraging Pixie owners to do.
No, that'd be cool because a lot of people have it. It's probably sitting in their closet because they'll never touch it. They get their money back, right? So
yeah, it was one of those things where it was fun a couple times and then you literally don't use it. So yeah, you can go get your 185, 250 bucks back. That's worth it. You can kick off the return process by sharing your drone's serial number with the company via an online form. After that, they'll send you a prepaid return label that you can use to send the flying robot back to its maker. So yeah, it sounds like free shipping too. You just have to come up with a box.
So yeah.
They're not gonna send you a box, but they'll give you that label.
Oh yeah. Some people won't even do it because they don't get a box.
Oh, that's it. That's all it is. So if you got a Pixie, don't touch it ever again, and go get your 250
I'm just trying to find quickly how often batteries blow up. Cell phones.
Well, yeah, because lithium batteries are in everything, and cell phones included.
Yeah, easy.
And I've heard way more of it happening in cell phones.
Yes, because the cell phone's in your pocket, and those vapes are always blowing up in fucking people's faces because they're sucking on it, and then boom, right? It blows off in their face. There's no real
always blowing up,
right?
Always.
They blow up quite a bit, right? Fucking. I can't find a number. But okay. Okay, that's lightning. For some reason, it's saying you have 1 in a 13,000 chance of being struck by lightning. Just so you know, I just found that out. I don't know why they told me when I asked about batteries. Okay, I think we should move on to the next article here then. What else do we have? Okay, you can take. You can't hear you, Dustin. You're on mute.
Shit. So I knew I accidentally hit that. AP News for this one. The failed political operation to make DeSantis the GOP presidential nominee cost. I wish they didn't put it in the headline so we could guess. $168 million is what he spent to come in, maybe second. Kind of have to climb third since Haley didn't drop out yet.
Yeah, he's third. I think Haley spent about that much so far as well, but
which means together they've spent $380 million to lose to Trump. What an incredible waste of money.
Yeah.
PAC never backed down. Reported payments of more than $130 million in 2023. And Super PAC Fight Right reported $9 million.
See, you know what? If he didn't become a weak little bitch, he probably could have been. Actually, no, he wouldn't. He's not legally allowed to be VP to Trump, but he might still be in the running. He would definitely have beaten. He did beat Haley, to be fair. So, but yeah, he's
in the one contest that he stayed in for. Yeah,
he did beat her. So yeah. So
now, of course, that's one of 50 states, so we don't know what the total would have been. Yeah. He overall probably would lose to her if they both stayed in the whole time.
Maybe we can't find out, but
yeah, we'll never know because he's a quitter.
Oh yeah, but like,
stupid quitter.
He should his state was in an emergency state of emergency, and he just leaves. He's like, I gotta go to Iowa for a freaking presidential debate. I mean, not debate. Caucus. I'm not gonna win, you know. And his state is in a flooding state of emergency. That's kind of messed up for a governor to do. But
he struggled in the primary, starting with a glitchy campaign launch on Twitter Spaces.
Yeah,
I didn't even hear about that.
But the thing is, like, no, see, like, do you remember when Trump announced his 2024 run? But anyway, no. He had a whole bunch of people at Mar-a-Lago. He had them all come in, and there's a big dinner and all that. And he comes out, and he literally says, President Donald Trump, will be rerunning. He didn't. I don't know if he said President Donald, but he. This is paraphrasing. He was that because that's what he is. He's still President Donald Trump, right? So.
No, he's former president.
Former President Donald Trump, but.
That's literally it. Irks me every time we refer to former presidents as president. That's literally doing the term wrong. He's not president.
Anyway,
he's former president.
Okay, anyway, but he made a big deal.
Title
it was always on the news. It was always this big thing, right? Ron DeSantis, he went on Twitter Spaces with about maybe 5,000 people watching. He started talking, then Twitter Spaces crashed on him. So they had to get him back up. He got back up. I don't even know how many viewers were there then. And then he said that he's running for president. It's like, okay, nobody gave a shit. Nobody was there. Nobody heard, right? So
yeah,
right.
You messed up. You needed to get it right the first time. I know we had technical difficulties.
Yeah, go back to.
It kept echoing. Oh, so he had like himself unmuted on the other screen or some shit.
Well, I don't. Okay, I could be wrong. I just know there's issues on it. And yeah, just silly. So.
That's a terrifying photo, by the way.
Yeah, but come on, these companies do that on purpose. They take the most all of them.
It's the same one, just their back.
Yeah, they just try to think.
Or you know what? We need 2 photos. Just crop and zoom.
Yeah. So yeah.
God over government? What? Who's this? Is that one of his sayings? God over government?
I think that is a DeSantis saying. Yes.
Oof, that's why you lost. That is a dumb saying.
I don't think that's why he lost, but he wasn't ever going to beat Donald Trump anyway. So.
No.
God
over. All right, that's all I got on DeSantis.
Yeah,
I just thought it was, like I said, I wish they'd buried this number so we could have like entertained like numbers. Yeah. I have no idea what we would have thrown out. Me or you.
They've been watching us and they don't want us to.
I might have put it in the tens of millions and then been like, holy shit.
Let's hear. How much do you think Nikki Haley spent so far?
Well, 168 million. Don't ask what I based that on. No, 167 million.
I can't really.
Jay's Blaze says about that, so I nailed it.
Yeah, I know she spent. I think she spent lots and lots of money.
How much has Trump spent? Is he? Because he's not. He's still doing stuff.
Oh, she only. Okay, I love it. So, what's Nikki Haley PAC money dries up with only 3 million left as actual campaign. Reports 14 million cash, whatever that means.
So Trump campaign raised 19 million, went into 2024 with 33 million. Yeah, he's not getting these giant numbers that they're getting because he doesn't need it.
Exactly, he's like whatever. So, yeah,
like they're literally bringing in 4 or 5x his amount to try to combat him.
I think
the on ads.
The bank spent about 60
ads in New Hampshire alone.
Yeah, New Hampshire was 100, wasn't it, or something, or I don't know.
Well,
but the bank spent 60 million.
Joey says she spent 10 million on ads in New Hampshire.
Exactly. There's that. Yeah, he did.
And another 50 mil on others. Well, this is what Haley spent. Vivek spent.
Yeah, and his whole campaign, he spent that much.
Oh, okay, his whole campaign was 10 mil.
Yeah.
Okay, he dropped out before getting to the really fun part. So.
Well, he knew he never admitted it because you're running for. He didn't admit it, but he never is going to run the presidency. He knew that.
He wants an appointment, and he's got it.
I know he did.
You should see him when he's on stage with Trump now. Oh my God, Trump gives him so much praise because he did exactly what Trump wanted.
Yeah,
Nikki and Ron did not.
Yeah, and Nikki and Ron, if they followed suit, they'd all have jobs after this. No.
Well, Ron's got a job in Florida.
Well, when's the governor? Because this is the second term. He terms out this time.
I think he's going to pass a thing that lets him have a third one.
No, I don't think. Are they allowed? Are there states?
Well,
that do that
he passed a thing to let him run for president.
Yeah, but that's
mayor, so it's just a simple hurdle for him to change laws.
But that's a bigger law. Like, that's,
he passed a law to stay in power. This is just passing a law to stay in power.
He should have stepped down to. Yeah, you're right. Maybe, but I don't think it'll work. And anyway,
Florida is like Texas. If it wants to leave, okay.
He did send a whole bunch of troops to Texas, so he did send a whole bunch of state National Guard to Texas.
See, can we give? See, I don't know. I don't want to give them Louisiana, so they can never connect. If Texas and Florida want to go together, they're just going to be disconnected.
Yeah,
they could be the ununited states of America.
But see, that's like here in Canada. Quebec doesn't want to be part of Canada, so there'd be a friggin' country in between the two and our country.
God,
so
wait, Quebec, Texas, and Florida?
Yeah, they could in theory. So I think Quebec would hate Texas. Quebec hates Canada. Quebec hates everybody.
True.
Quebec
just wants to do their own thing.
Yeah. So. All right. What else?
Honestly, it's why you don't just dump a bunch of French people in a random place. You get Quebec when you do that.
Oh yeah.
We probably could have started off with this, given that it is February, and in America, we have a thing we do every February.
We do too. Here in Canada, we have it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. We all seen the
CNN.
movie. So.
No, we haven't.
You've never seen the movie?
Spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't seen the movie. You can't assume everyone's seen Groundhog.
I'm like, okay. Yeah, but anybody chat? Yeah, yes or
Look,
no for Groundhog Day?
let me just ask you: do you think Caleb has seen Groundhog's Day?
But that doesn't matter. He's not.
Because you know the answer is no.
Actually, I don't know that. Maybe he did.
Oh, it's like a 99% chance
Oh,
of a
yes.
no. It's too
I don't know
old.
if
He's
there'd be.
a child. He doesn't know
Yeah,
anything.
but like that. Maybe they're like, oh, Groundhog Day, right? So yes, I'm asking about the movie.
Yeah.
Yes. Not see
No,
the physical groundhog. Yeah.
well, where is he? Anyways, there is one real one. Punxsutawney Phil.
Yeah.
Which is only in which state?
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania.
I was like, oh, yay! So
I think we had back when we had our guests on from Pennsylvania. I think we did fun facts about it, didn't we?
Did we? Oh, I remember that.
I think so. Because Heckles is from Pennsylvania?
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. My memory's jarring. I'm pretty sure we talked about Punxsutawney Phil. So, what did the groundhog see this year? Also, which thing is it? If he sees the shadow, we get 3 months of something?
I don't remember.
And if he doesn't see his shadow, we get 3 months of something else. All right, so he woke up and did not see his shadow Friday morning, calling for an early spring.
Yeah, it's good. It's actually, but again,
there you go.
Now, do you believe this stuff or no? Do you believe that, like, we had a pre-chat about this, how animals take global warming? Yeah, God damn it, Phil! It's all his fault. Phil.
Every year he says early spring.
You're like last year I don't think it was, but you said earlier about animals have instinct about weather. And correct, animals actually can predict weather much better than we can. But the shadow, they ain't gonna predict it. Predict it, you know, like come on, right?
Well, do you know what his accuracy has been so far?
No, it doesn't say.
What if it was 100%? Would you change your mind?
No.
If it was 100% accurate since 1887,
okay, sure,
you would still say,
sure, okay.
That's you would okay. Now it's not 100%. I'm pretty sure he's 50-50. But so members of the Punxsutawney Groundhog Club make a pilgrimage to Gobbler's Knob, Phil's official home. Did you know that? Gobbler's Knob?
Oh, I didn't know.
Well, now you do. Now it's stuck in your brain rattling around. The group waits for Phil to leave his burrow, and legend has it, if he sees a shadow, 6 more weeks of winter are on the way. If he doesn't, early spring. So that's what we don't get 6 weeks of winter. What does more weeks of winter even mean? Well, that's a good point, James Blaze. What does 6 more weeks of winter mean?
Okay, I'm just reading here, so.
I thought you were pondering the question.
No, sorry. I'm just reading about it, yeah.
Pondering. You're going deep into like.
There's no shit.
Does that mean 6 weeks of snow? How much snow?
I don't
know
every
every day? Snow every 2 or 3 days or 4 days? Or what if it snowed once a week for 6 weeks? Would that be winter? What if it snowed on the first week and the 6th week, but the 4 in the middle weeks were like 6
Okay, so for the last 10 years, here it is. 2014, his prediction was right. 15, his prediction was wrong. 16, his prediction was right. 17, his prediction was wrong. 18, his prediction is wrong. 19, his prediction is wrong. 20, his prediction is right. 21, 22, and 23, his prediction was wrong. So, not very accurate.
Damn, he's 3 and 7 in his last 10.
Yeah.
If you were a baseball team, that's not good.
No, that's not good for anybody.
Especially with the 3L streak, because they always, when you look at the baseball,
yeah,
thing,
so exactly.
How many, like your last were all losses.
But now, like now in theory, but that's only the last 10. So
he has a handler, AJ Derumi.
And Phil's only been right in 39% of the time, going back to his first record prediction in 1887. There.
This article is saying 40%, so I'm probably just rounding up.
Just round up, yeah. So
prognostication. Huh. Yeah, that's why I had to start with. If it's 100%, would you believe me? Believe him? It's not. It's less than a coin flip.
But again, that might be the worst analogy ever. But do you wake up every day?
Oh, they can say where's their coin flip in here?
Yeah. Do you wake up every day?
Yes.
So exactly. So your wake up is at 100%. One day you might not. Actually, never mind. It does make sense. I was trying to do something there, but it didn't work.
Yeah, I don't think waking up's a coin flip. Yeah. I hope it's not.
But it is. Some days you get to one age, you're like, well, maybe see in the morning there. So
here's a map, but like this doesn't mean anything. This is just February, maybe. But like they're not even accurate about tomorrow. It's
Yeah,
supposed to
exactly.
snow
That's
or
the thing,
rain,
though. Exactly.
maybe.
Yeah. Halfway through the day, they're like, "Oh, we think it's gonna be raw." No, wait, no, no.
Yeah, and that's all the rest of the article's like talking about. Like, well, I don't care. I just want to know what
Imagine,
Punxsutawney saw
imagine the
and how
weatherman.
accurate he is now.
Imagine the weatherman having just lie your whole fucking life and career, and you still get praised for it. You know, like, come on.
Yeah, I mean,
Like, he knows just as well. You know, these numbers are
because
changing.
they don't
so.
say, "I think we're gonna have
Yeah.
some cooler weather moving
Yeah.
in." They say, "We're gonna have some
Yeah.
cooler weather moving in."
There's a cold
and I
front
hope
moving
you like
in.
warm days because
Yeah.
tomorrow's gonna be a nice one. It fucking
Yeah.
rains,
Yeah.
and he's just like, nobody took him to court for that.
Okay.
Not one person. Anyways,
Well, we actually only have
Good.
2 more stories here, I think. So.
we do, and the next one's another CNN one.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah.
Roberta Kaplan says Trump threw papers across the table at Mar-a-Lago deposition because his legal team agreed to feed her lunch.
Put him in jail. Put Trump in jail.
That's it. That's it. This is the one.
You know what? Like, that's the worst crime of all time.
This is a bridge too far.
Okay, no,
This,
yeah.
there she is, happy. She
I don't
got,
like.
what was
I
that
haven't read.
checking notes? Lunch.
Yeah.
I
I don't know. I'm gonna my first thought. It's bullshit. But Trump being mad, yeah, but I've seen him get mad and he's never like.
Yeah, I mean,
He gets grumpy,
papers.
and you see it in his face. You can see it in his face when he gets mad, but he doesn't do stuff like, especially when he knows people are gonna say stuff.
Did you ever watch his TV show?
The Apprentice, yes.
Yeah.
That's my first reality show I got into before Survivor.
How many times do you throw paper in The Apprentice?
I don't remember him many times. So.
You don't remember if he did?
I don't. I do remember it. I remember him in the board meetings and all that.
Because that I never watched it, so I don't know.
I don't think I ever
that would
watched
be my only thing to look back and see.
Like Gordon Ramsay does worse than him. I know that, but
well, yeah, and there was a wrestling skit where they consistently had a guy who threw a wad of papers at guys.
Yeah,
it's an old wrestling thing. Nobody's gonna get that. But
okay, so why did he throw papers? Why did Donald Trump aggressively throw deadly papers at someone?
Well, it was in the title. It was because his legal team agreed to feed her lunch. Sorry, we can't tease the intro. It's in the headline. We can't tease. It's like
I don't see that either. Trump's not gonna be the one to give it. Like, I could be wrong, but I do not see Trump being the one to be like, "Oh, you can't eat. You're here." Trump would be like, "Sure, I don't give a shit." You know, like, the food's already there, so I don't see that being a problem. I'd be wrong, but I don't.
So well, let's read the article and see what actually is in here. Because this the first thing it's saying is she rejected the former president's request that they work through a lunch break. So it looks like he wanted to not do lunch. Yeah. So that's sort of different from,
What the title
he's basically not getting his way already. So but yeah, while he would pay for somebody's lunch, he's not getting his way. His way is he wants to finish the work.
Now what? Okay, what is this? Is this?
So that alleged? Does make sense to me.
Now is this alleged? Is this him actually doing this, or is this she said he said?
This is Kaplan, who has represented. You read the sentence, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I just want to make that clear that
she's the she in the sentence.
Okay, so
this is according to Kaplan.
This has happened, yeah.
Right, and she was present, so we have somebody who was there saying this is what happened. So now, does it sound like he's the kind of guy who wants to work through lunch?
I don't. Yeah. Well, maybe.
Yeah, he's a business guy.
Yeah, you're right.
You don't become a millionaire without working through lunch.
And that's
go ask any millionaire.
You're correct. And that's how he's got where he is. 100%. He's got to get the job done.
Or what you do is a working lunch.
Yeah, which a lot
even
of
in my
do.
Work, we do working lunch.
Yeah, I've done that. I do that many times. So where I work now, I'll be doing stuff with a sandwich in my hand and talking to people, and you got to do what you got to do, right? So, but it says up top, provider lunch, already private lunch, and like not wanting to have lunch is two different things as well, though.
Well, or it's both. I mean, she's alleging both. Anyways, president's request that they work through a lunch break because he believed the deposition was a waste of my time. Now, that's her take on it. Yeah. We don't know if that, but she's alleging he said it was a waste of time. Which I could see him saying that. All these depositions he considers a waste of time. This is depositions related to the E. Jean Carroll cases. And everything I've heard him publicly say about those, yeah, he thinks they're a waste of time. So I could definitely see him not wanting to take a lunch break to go back to keep working on it longer.
Yeah.
But anyways, then you could kind of see and this is still quoting Kaplan, and then you could kind of see the wheel spinning in his brain. You could really almost see it. And he said, "Well, you're here in Mar-a-Lago. What do you think you're going to do for lunch? Where are you going to get lunch?" Kaplan said she told him that his attorneys had graciously offered to provide her team with lunch, a common civil practice between opposing legal teams. Okay, well, so he's not even the one that offered her lunch.
Yeah, but okay.
According to her.
I don't think Trump has someone come to his house. He's gonna that's what to do. He's been doing that for.
Mar-a-Lago's not his house.
Where he lives, okay.
He made a big deal about that. It's not his house.
It's where
he
they
made a huge deal about it. It is not his house.
Okay, the property he's
and you will be slandered and liable to
He's at the property he's at, where he's had thousands and thousands of meetings with people he likes and people he doesn't like. I guarantee the kitchen has always cooked for 90% of the people who want, if not 100%.
Well, I mean, don't they charge people for food?
I don't know.
At their restaurant?
Have to look at.
Do you know anything about Mar-a-Lago?
Not too much. I know that
it's not free.
Yeah.
You pay to go there. You pay for everything there.
But the legal team wouldn't, right?
As far as like feeding your enemies, well, yeah. I mean, even his attorneys are offering to do it here.
So I don't know. Like there's friggin' war breaking out in the Middle East, and they have to report on Trump throwing papers. There's something like that's why I'm kind of suspicious. So. But
we've done reports. We've covered the war in the Middle East.
But like there's today there's literally a lot more Syria bombs going off, and then this is.
Look, I've heard nothing so far that sounds unbelievable or even criminal here. So why are we dismissing it?
I'm just saying.
Like this most likely happened. Like this is the most tame Trump thing of all time. This is trying to take us back to old school Trump, before this insanity that took over. This is old school Trump like topics right here. He threw some papers and didn't want to pay for somebody's lunch who he'd already agreed to pay for.
I don't see that being Trump. That's my opinion. Of your opinion, that's good. So, but.
So do you think his attorneys would have made the offer before he had a chance to, and that would piss him off?
Oh, no.
That he didn't get a chance to offer lunch?
No, I don't.
Because she already had an offer. She didn't need lunch from him.
If they, at most people who invite someone out for a meeting, that means you're buying lunch. Someone's like, hey, do you want
and that's what it says here. A common civil practice between opposing legal teams. The legal counsel offered it to the other legal counsel.
Yeah, so
Trump didn't offer it to anybody. His own legal counsel either.
His legal counsel did, and he probably knew that. So, but again, let's go on.
So, I mean, when you say he pays for everybody or gives everybody food, not really. He relies on his people to do things.
But like,
and in this case,
and when the White House, when the government,
this person,
when the government was shut down, he still bought everyone on every side food. Like when he was a president. Yeah,
he bought McDonald's for the White House staff, which
whatever. That's
some of his staff, I guess, didn't like him, but the vast majority of it he appointed.
But it doesn't matter. It's just still buying lunch for everybody. So.
I didn't see Nancy Pelosi or AOC come in and eat a hamburger.
Nancy Pelosi, friggin' wouldn't be able to put her a glass.
I didn't see his actual enemies come in and eat.
Because they're not going to admit they would not. They're all too.
But
proud.
You got to remember, this is a case he doesn't even want to be involved in. This is one of the dumb lawyer trial, the witch hunt. This is the witch hunt. So would he really entertain lunch for somebody who's witch hunting him?
Yeah.
That's what this is supposing, is that this person who would be witch hunting him, this attorney, would he pay for food for that person?
I think so.
You've heard him talk about the witch hunt.
Yeah, but he doesn't.
Do you think he would buy?
So.
What was that dude who? Well, I forget the dude's name. The dude in the DOJ that he doesn't like.
I don't know, Cruz.
I mean, you think he's gonna have that dude over at his house for a free meal? Probably not. But, not his house. His resort fucking property. Jay says, Trump doesn't even pay people he's contracted legally to pay. True. He has reneged on many payments. Just ask any of his Las Vegas casino construction companies how well they got paid.
That was right.
How well their contracts were upheld. Oh no, he did bankruptcy too. Yeah. These are all facts. These happen.
Oh yeah, no, for sure, I get that. But
he did these things. He's known as a business dealer, and he sucks at business, demonstrably.
Well, again, but yes, okay. At which point he threw a huge pile of documents, exhibits sitting in front of him, and he took the pile. What? Okay. At which point there was okay. Sorry, I said that right. I said through. There was a huge pile of documents sitting in front of him, and he took a pile and he just threw it across the table, stormed out the room. I don't know. And then he typically yelled at his lawyer, Haba, for providing them lunch. I don't know.
Yeah, I could believe he would yell at his own people. I've seen him do it. I've seen him yell at his lawyer on TV.
Again.
Also, he usually doesn't pay for very good lawyers.
But again,
remember the gaming laptop girl?
I did.
She brought a gaming laptop to court.
Yeah.
That was pretty sick.
But again, until I have the right to not believe this, just like you have the right to believe it.
But what do you gain from not believing it?
But again, because they lie, they're like you said, it is a witch hunt.
What do I gain from believing it? You're about to ask what I gain from believing it. Entertainment. I'm entertained by this.
Yes, okay.
It's way funnier if you think it happened than if you think it didn't.
I think it's way funnier.
If you think it didn't happen,
I think it's way funnier that she's lying about it. So allegedly lying about it. So.
I guess you could find it funny to lie about it, but this is one of those things that's so innocuous that it's only funny if it actually happened.
Again, and it would have been funny if you were there.
You had to pay for my lunch. Like, this is so, I don't know, if you're gonna make it up, wouldn't you make it up better?
I don't know. People are pretty dumb these days at making up lies, But they wanted to make it. They want to make it sweet and simple, so it can't sound like it, right? But again, maybe it did happen. I just don't see that happening.
Is this the laptop? Is that what you're sending me here?
Oh.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh, I have that laptop. Whoa.
I mean, it's
Look at that. Look at that.
Wait.
Fuck. I got that laptop right here.
Whoa. Where's Hunter? Where's Hunter?
For the record.
What does that say?
Trump.
Oh.
So, I was at the airport one time when Trump was doing some stuff and people were mad, so I put the Trump sticker on my laptop to be a dick. But that's just funny. That's the same laptop I have. But
so anyways, Kaplan continues. He came back in and he said, well, how'd you like the lunch? And I said, well, sir, I had a banana. I can never really eat when I'm taking testimony. And he said, well, I told you. It was kind of charming, he said. I told them to make you really bad sandwiches, but they can't help themselves here. We have the best sandwiches.
You know what? That's something I almost believe Trump's saying, but I don't know. So
she had a banana. This whole thing is about him paying for a banana
or a sandwich. Like, I don't
graciously, he graciously offered to pay for a banana.
But he said, asked about the sandwiches. What about the sandwiches? Why didn't
I told them to make you really bad sandwiches, but she said, well, sir, I had a banana. I think I'm going to believe her and what she said she had.
She probably had a banana, yeah.
She had a banana.
Right?
And
a banana.
This sounds exactly like a Trump quote.
I said, I kind of do believe that as a quote. I will.
I was going to have them make you a terrible sandwich, but this is Mar-a-Lago. Can't be done here. Not a terrible sandwich on the menu.
No,
I told them, what's the worst one? And they said, sir, there are no worst ones. So I said, can you spit in it? And they said, no, sir.
Yeah,
it's Mar-a-Lago. We cannot spit in it.
But yes. But I do kind of believe that.
He would never say spit in a sandwich, but he would say I could shoot somebody on. No, anyways. He has said so many things. Spitting in a sandwich? Come on. He could even spit in the sandwich and hand it to you and get away with it. This one, I completely believe he said. Even if the rest of the story's not real. Like, let's say
I kind of do believe.
If the rest of it's fake, he bought lunch and even bought sandwiches.
I can see
I can still see him walking in the room and saying this.
Maybe when he's like, "Oh, let's just get this done with," and then she was like, "Well, blah blah blah." He's like, "Well, someone make this be a sandwich." I don't know. Anyway, and make a really terrible sandwich.
Hold on, you think okay, he wouldn't say spit on a sandwich, but he would say make this be a sandwich?
Yeah, for sure. He called Rosie O'Donnell fat pig, which...
How many times has he said bitch? I don't remember him saying bitch very
often. Doesn't swear. He's not a big
swearer.
Right,
that's why I'm saying, like, I actually don't think that's credible just because it's a swear word, like...
Oh, wait, he did say wait, go down. Wait, go down. In a separate... okay, from Kaplan. Anyway, he used the phrase, see you next Tuesday.
See you next Tuesday.
Which, if anybody knows,
have another meeting on Tuesday. Right?
If everybody knows what that means, right? It's a very British.
Yeah, you have a meeting on a day of the week. It's Tuesday.
Yeah. So and I do say that to the boss at my work. He's British, and I always tell him to see him next Tuesday before he leaves.
Do you have like a weekly meeting?
No,
Tuesdays?
I just like to
Oh, that's gotta be confusing then. Why would we...
But yeah, for all those that you don't know, I'm not actually gonna say the
word. Or
does
this mean something else? Does this mean something?
No, you say it loud. See you next Tuesday, and it's supposed to be see you.
Yeah, see you next Tuesday. NT. Like you have a meeting on Tuesday.
C-U-N-T. Yeah,
like that's what I would say. So. See you next Monday.
Yeah, no, that doesn't work that way though.
Well, we don't have Borderline Banter on Tuesday, so I can't say see you next Tuesday, Mike.
And we wouldn't say that to anybody.
And I would never say.
Actually, I say it to people all the time because I got some British blood in me, so I'm allowed to say it. But you know, it's my word, bro. I got it. So, yeah.
Oh no.
Borderline Banter is being closed down to violence of language.
We're banned.
But yeah, I just don't. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. I just don't see. She said this on a podcast, so it's all alleged, right? But...
So we come in the room, and I say, "I'm done asking questions," and immediately I hear from the other side, "Off the record, off the record, off the record." So they must have planned it. Well, I don't. I don't think that shows planning. I think that means you're gonna say something, not necessarily you'd have an idea what you're gonna say. But and he looks at me across the table and says, "See you next Tuesday." So he made sure "See you next Tuesday" was.
I don't know.
That just seems like nah.
That seems a little far too. You know, it's like I don't know. Like that one.
If you're gonna say off the record, off the record, off the record, just say you're a real cunt. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
And then walk out. Like, you just say it. Like and you can say it as a question, then it's not actually saying it.
Yeah. No, I can't. I believe a few of the quotes he would say, but it's not hard to make up a quote Trump would say because, you know, he says a lot of ridiculous things. But
so Kaplan said that she was initially confused as their next meeting was set for a Wednesday. You could tell it was like kind of a joke again, like teenage boys would come up with. But again, I wasn't in on the joke.
She does. There's no way. There's no way she doesn't know what that means. No way in hell.
I wasn't in on the joke. I had no idea. I'm going to get into the car, and my colleagues are like, "Robbie, do you know what that means?" And I'm like, "Nah, what are you talking about?"
Hey,
they tell me. I'm like, "Oh my God, thank God I didn't know. Because had I known, I for sure would have gotten angry. There's no question I would have gotten angry."
There's no, give me a break. Give me a break. I don't know. This whole thing's fishy. The whole story's...
No, the middle part's not.
Some
fishy.
Some of it's
the best sandwiches, but we only had the best.
I could almost see him saying that, yes, but come on, right? He would. Yeah, okay. So,
CNN did reach out. They didn't. You know, Trump and Haba. They could have said no. That's not what happened. No further comment. That takes 2 seconds to say. They didn't.
Yeah.
You could say things like that, and stories like this would have to put it in them. That's why they reach out for.
What did they say? Did they not respond? Did they respond? It doesn't say. So.
CNN has reached out to representatives for Trump and Haba.
Okay, so they haven't heard.
That's all that's happened. And if I don't see us saying anything else, that's all that's happened.
Usually they say we haven't heard back yet, or we have heard back, right? Just weird. Okay,
well,
so
I feel like it's kind of weird to say we haven't heard back. I guess unless you say at the time of writing this article, no response has been given, because you had to time it. Because if I read this a year from now, well, what if they have responded? Because he's gonna say something on Twitter, right?
Yeah.
Or she will, or he will. Someone will.
Yeah.
So anyways, I think that
for that we didn't talk about that because he has that $83 million trial. I might get hate for this, but something that happened in the 90s, and the woman who is alleged it doesn't remember what day it happened, and there's a whole bunch of stuff that it's not rape either. He's being charged for. It's what is it? It's
alleged Trump raped her in a department store.
Yeah, but it's not. That's what she's being charged for. He was charged with something else. Defamation.
Defamation is the charge. Yeah.
Because
rape would be a criminal trial. Yeah, this is the civil.
He was found innocent. He was found innocent on the rape trial. So.
You don't sue somebody for rape.
Yeah,
you sue them for defamation.
But he was found innocent on rape.
Right. But one's a civil charge, one's a criminal charge.
I just don't know how.
Now we've already talked about how proving rape is incredibly hard. So we don't know whether or not he raped her.
But again, okay, you know what? If he did bad, but
we know he hasn't been proven guilty of it.
This happened in the 90s. The woman who's alleging it. Well, first of all, they were in Macy's friggin' department in the 90s, and they just banged in the dressing room. First of all, everybody in the goddamn New York City knew who Trump was. Trump couldn't go in and do that. I don't know. I just think it's ridiculous. I think it's
I'm sorry. Yeah. Trump couldn't do whatever Trump wants? Is that what you're saying?
You think Trump could walk into a friggin' Macy's department store with nobody seeing him and going into a room and banging a chick into it?
I mean, I haven't read that nobody saw him or that we went into a specific story in this. I don't know this story.
I have heard a lot. Again, we didn't talk about it because it was going on for a while. But Then I guess other than
So we're alleging. So we're not even just alleging did Trump rape or not rape. We're now saying did Trump get into a mall without being seen?
No, I'm just saying is like
we have moved the goalpost here.
But she doesn't remember what day it was. She doesn't remember what
now
she was
I have
wearing.
to figure out did somebody see Trump go somewhere.
If you were raped, you would probably remember the day you got raped on by Trump. You'd probably remember what was going on. You remember where you were and all that stuff.
Right. So you're saying Carol would have a good memory of what happened.
But she doesn't remember what she's wearing. She doesn't remember what day it was. She's like so.
I mean, I don't agree with the thought that traumatic things make you remember them.
But
I don't think there's a correlation to trauma and memory.
Then how is he found innocent for that, but now he's gonna be found guilty for that?
Because you have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt.
And then what's the definition?
You have to have evidence.
The only definition is
we're talking about something from 30 years ago.
Exactly. So
30 years ago, do you think evidence was maintained?
We
talked about this before.
You think there'd still be something? You think, I went to the cops that day.
The chain of custody could break 30 years?
She went in that change room with him. So,
look, going into a changing room with somebody doesn't say that everything is good to go once you're in there. You know that, right?
I don't know.
Hell, getting in bed with him doesn't mean everything's good to go. You can say no at any point. You know that, right?
Yes. But
again, there's no you went along with it, so nope, not rape.
I guarantee they.
No, that's not how it works, and you need to know that this is 2024. That is not how it works.
Not how it works exactly. But
you can't just blame them for going somewhere or wearing something. You can't just say, "Well, you."
Okay, but you start sleeping with somebody.
You can say no at any time.
You start sleeping with somebody and you change your mind. Is it rape before you change your mind? Then, if you agreed to it before. But then what does it say? She says no.
No means no. This is no confusion.
So
halfway
through, she walks away. Halfway through, she changed her mind to walk away. He's like, "Well, I changed my mind halfway through," and he stopped. But he like,
no, that wouldn't be rape if he stopped. If you say no and they keep going, that's rape. Am I really having to describe rape here?
Well, that's the thing. But it happened in the night. I don't.
It's when you keep going after the word no. Period.
Yes. But again, this comes down to something that happened 30 years ago. Not if that happened. For sure, but there's no evidence. Like I don't know. He's appealing the verdict anyway. But
this is the defamation trial.
Yeah.
Now the defamation trial isn't talking about the event at all.
Yes.
This is talking about someone.
Yes. So she should get defamation on him because there was no evidence. And that's Jay just said there's no evidence he didn't do it. That's a horrible analogy, in my opinion. It's like, well, there's no evidence, right? It's like, well. That means if there's no evidence, you're innocent, right? So.
There's no evidence he didn't do. So the first thing I said was this is a civil trial, not the criminal trial, and the burden of proof is different in a civil trial. So that's why he's going to pay her. Period.
He's going to appeal.
He's going to pay her.
He won't. He's going to pay. He
can appeal it, and he did defame her. He said defamatory statements about her. He did that.
So
the defamatory statements happened. The rape, we don't know if it happened. There's no one criminally guilty of it, which would be the only thing that would give us certainty.
And I'm glad you're saying that because a lot of people
if you take the court's findings as fact, which you shouldn't necessarily do, I could show you all of our Innocence Project stories we've done where the judge got it wrong. So, even when a court says something doesn't make it fact. No one will ever know if he actually did it.
Yeah. Well, him and her will know. So.
True. So I shouldn't say no one. Those two people are the only two people. You're right. You're right. Only two people will ever know. And that's unless it was recorded. Now, this was the 90s in a department store. Not 0%, but not very high. If this was a department store in 2024, I would say 100% chance there was cameras.
Now, right? But for sure.
But this is the 90s.
But if there was cameras, there's no cameras in the dressing room. She still went into the dressing room with him. So he didn't.
Well, at least then we could dismiss the whole nobody saw him argument. Yeah. If we had the cameras of him, at least the event, like them being in the changing room. Do we even have evidence that happened?
I think they did.
Without a video of it.
I think they did. They did mention that. It was a long trial and it was over. That happened last year.
Yeah, it was a trial I didn't watch at all. Because, the writing's on the wall. If you're an American and you've paid any attention at all, you know that the chances of getting convicted of rape are just abysmal. And somebody who's rich and famous and running for president, 0% chance.
But I don't know.
It turns to 0. With just the rich part, I don't even think I need any of the rest of that. If you're rich and in America, it almost turns to 0% chance to go to prison for rape.
He was never on Epstein's. No, he was never on Epstein's island. He kicked Jeffrey Epstein out of Mar-a-Lago.
No one said he was on his island.
Yeah, he wasn't buddy. He met him a few times.
He was buddies. There's photographs of them hugging and smiling together.
There's businessmen, right? He kicked Epstein out of his Mar-a-Lago home because Jeffrey was hitting on a minor, and Trump didn't put up with that shit. You can look it up right now. That happened. So.
I mean, Trump and Epstein were friends.
Yes.
Calling them buddies makes sense to me.
No, but when you say
and
that,
she said nothing else, and you started saying all other
because once you say that,
you're into what she said.
Once you say that you're saying that, like that's when you say that, it sounds like, oh well, he's on the island, right? So a lot of people think,
no, they were buddies. Yeah. Again, you're saying I said he's on the island.
No, I didn't say that.
They were buddies.
When you say he's an Epstein buddy, 99% of people are like, oh, that means he's part of that ring they had, right?
Could have been,
but he was in.
There's lots of flight logs we'll never see.
And the victims did say that he was never on the island or he's never around. So
the victims,
because Trump
was never around.
That Trump did not go on the island, and they tried to go to Trump's casino once, and they wouldn't let the minor in. They did mention him; he was in the transcripts, but for different reasons. And half the names on that list, the names on the transcript, were not on the island. Regardless, so
well, yeah, and that's why immediately when we talked about that list, we'd already been saying this list doesn't say what was there doing sex stuff.
Yeah,
that's not what the list was. It was just anyone involved in this case.
Yeah, so the janitor,
the janitor,
English,
it could
right?
be. So it could be all kinds of people on the list, which is why every time a name gets named, you have to go and be like, okay, well, why was that name named? Go look into it. The documents were over 300 pages or something, so most people didn't. Yeah. It's one of those things nobody freaking read.
They just did Control-F and typed in Trump.
They thought it was going to be a list of names, and they were like, well, the name I wanted to be on the list isn't there, so I don't fucking care anymore. Like, okay.
Right. Well, I think it's time to move on to our... We probably should have started this one, jeez. But it is time to move on to our last story.
Oh, no, we can't start with this one. We don't even know if this happened. This is less real than birds.
Yeah.
The last one we saved was Canada. Got a Canadian one.
From the BBC, Canadian poison killer Kenneth Law to head straight to trial.
Now, is this the dude that was doing the suicide kits?
Yep, he's the one that was sending suicide kits around everyone.
I wanted to make sure because poison killer. I just want to make sure. I didn't remember his name.
He's sending suicide kits like that. Yeah, that's
So head straight to trial. So that's good. I mean, I hate how long it takes to get to trials.
Yeah, no, like he should spend the rest of his life in prison. Should never be allowed to see the light of day.
So yeah, this is the case of a Canadian man accused of supplying poisonous chemicals to people who died by suicide. Will head straight to trial in Ontario court. Ontario court has said. And they've also upgraded the charges. I don't know if you heard this, but this was an update I read a few days ago. They upgraded from second degree to first degree murder for all the deaths.
Now I wonder why it was even second degree murder anyway. So,
the difference between first and second isn't it premeditation?
Premeditation and intent, isn't it?
Well, I thought intent was manslaughter and murder. Isn't manslaughter like murder 3?
Yes, and Blaine's got a good point. Maybe that's why the government's so mad is because he beat the Canadian government to it. But that's not true. He's a piece of shit, and he should be put in jail for the rest of it. But yeah, he sent out 1,200 parcels. Luckily, that's not how many people didn't kill him. But yeah, isn't first degree? I guess in Canada it might be different. First degree is an intent to kill someone. You send them poison kits. That's intent, right? Second degree is like you're walking down the street and you see someone, then you shoot them in the head for their wallet. That would be second degree, right? Because you didn't intend to do that. You just crime of opportunity. I'm not 100% sure how that works out.
Yeah, this is Canadian versus
So Mr. Law may have sent more than 1,200 parcels containing lethal substance to around 40 countries in Canada. He made his last court appearance on Thursday. Mr. Law, a 57-year-old former chef from Toronto, is facing a total of 14 first-degree murder charges, as well as 14 counts of aiding and counseling suicide, for a total of 28 charges.
No, wait. Why do they say former? Why don't they just call him a 57-year-old chef? He chefed once. You're always a chef, right? President Trump?
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, right. It makes no sense for a job title to not say.
There's no point to bring this guy's job up there, because why does it matter?
It's not, except for to prove my point about fucking president thing. And that goes for you too, Carter, Bush, Clinton.
His lawyer, Matthew Gourlay has said that Mr. Law intends to plead not guilty. Fuck you. Fuck you, Law.
Well,
like, so, fucking, we need to fire Scott in Canada. Like, he deserves it. You know, all charges are linked to deaths of people from across Ontario, age 16 to 36. Police have said more than one victim is under the age of 18. So he's killing kids.
So if I'm ever going to go to court, and if I were to ever give advice, which I can't because I'm not a lawyer, I would always advise you to plead not guilty.
Yeah. But
so I wouldn't call him a piece of shit for pleading not guilty.
No,
that's what I would do. Is what everyone should do.
Yeah.
You should always plead not guilty, because otherwise you don't get your day in court, which is your right. Even if you're guilty, you get your day in court because they have to prove it beyond a reasonable doubt.
On the return address.
Right?
Boom, done. But yeah.
Now, in this case, they'll probably be able to do it because there's so much of a paper trail. It's not funny. Not only a paper trail, but we got DNA. We know he touched those packages, right? We can put his DNA on at least, what was it?
40 countries.
14, well, not 40 countries. We got 14 charges.
Yeah.
Probably because we're just doing the Canadian ones, the ones that he sent to Canada, right? The ones he sent to other countries, you'd have to extradite him.
And I don't know what they would do, because
depends on that country's laws.
But I'm pretty sure, like, I don't know. Like, I don't know how that works.
If you send him to America, ours is pretty similar. We're probably going to give him the same charges.
Personally, I'd rather him get caught in the States, because he would get more. He would probably get worse charges. Like, he might get 25 years for that year, and hopefully more, but that's life. Yeah. Life in prison is 25 years in Canada. Not life like in America.
Well, but he would get 25 times 14?
I don't think they can do that. I think it's...
Or do they say that they're all happening at the same time? That's bullshit.
So,
you did 14 things. I
could be wrong. I'm not 100% sure about that, but I'm pretty sure that's the way it works. Now, sometimes they can hold you in longer than 25 years, like Robert Pigeon.
You guys don't have him. We have
him. Robert Pigeon, murderer and he's coming up on probably the 30 years now, 20 years now, actually 25 years now. So maybe they will let him out. Robert Pigeon, which is he was a pig farmer. He kidnapped a whole bunch of hitchhikers, and not hitchhikers, prostitutes, and he would bring them home, kill them, and feed them to his pigs. So.
Well, it's pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
I'm sure he got away with it for an obscene amount of time.
And I don't know how much time, but yeah, he's literally probably can be out within 25 years. But.
Well, I just mean he was able to continue his.
Yeah. They never found out. They never found out how many victims he had.
Yeah, because if you've got hogs eating them, they eat bone. Like hogs, and I learned this from a movie. So, if you haven't seen it, check out the Hannibal Lecter series. Hogs will swallow and digest bones, human bones. There's nothing left. So
yeah, he was charged for murdering 26 women. We'll just go off topic for a second. 26 women, but he claimed he murdered 49, but they only have 26. Charged him with 26. He said he got life in prison, but that could literally mean 25 years in Canada. So he was charged when? In 2001. So 2 more years, he's up permanently for parole.
Well, we'll see. So anyways, back to this one. Prosecutors confirmed to Mr. Law that his case will proceed by direct indictment, bypassing the preliminary inquiry that typically assesses whether evidence against the defendant is strong enough to head to trial. Yeah, they bypass that because this has like I said, obscene amount of evidence. This crime is nothing but evident. Not only the advertisement of what you've got out there, his product was advertised, and you could tie that to him legally and monetarily. You could tie who paid for the websites, and this guy is absolutely going to be found guilty. There is just a trove of evidence.
British detectives, they linked him to 90 deaths in the UK.
Yeah, this is what I mean. Like, if the UK brings him over, then they could charge him as well.
So he's killed over 100.
Mr. Law is only facing charges in the Canadian province of Ontario. So I think what they're trying to say is that only the Canadian packages are being charged.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Yes, that's shit's to be able to charge him for not domestic. I think I'm broken here.
This says that he's subject to probes by police agencies in other parts of Canada as well as other countries. So there's actually more Canadians who want him still.
Yeah. Oh.
Like other jurisdictions outside of Ontario, so other provinces. Every province he delivered to and every country he delivered to all has jurisdiction that they can come for him.
Question in the States: if you kill people in 5 states and the FBI catches you, you'd be charged for all 5, even though it's in 5 states, right?
It becomes a federal crime.
Yeah, it's federal crime. Why wouldn't they do that here?
because you guys have provinces.
Oh, yeah,
and you don't even call yourself.
We have the RCMP, so
you don't even call yourself the United Provinces of Canada. Why not?
Because we're not united. We're so far not united. It's not even funny. So.
And we could just call you the UPC. We're the USA. You're the UPC.
We do have the UPC. It's called the United Conservative Party. United Party. Oh, UPC. Yeah, never mind. It's UCP here, United Conservative Party. But yeah, what is that? Because went from first degree murder to first degree. That's sad. That means he's still gonna go to jail, but you think the people in the UK will think that's good enough?
Oh, hey, they actually put it in here. Under Canadian law, first-degree murder is defined as being the deliberate and planned killing of another person.
So.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So deliberate can't be an accident, and planned, so you intended to do it.
Premeditation
and intent. Yeah, basically the things we were thinking it should be.
Yeah, Canadian Depth has alleged Mr. Law ran a number of websites.
Yeah, that's evidence. The equipment he had in his home that he was sending, the boxes, the labels, the shipping labels.
The UK National Crime Agency and NCA in London has accused him of sending packages 270. The agency, which is investigating if any criminal offences were committed, well, yeah, there were, said none of those representatives later died, though they cannot confirm that toxic substance.
So he sent it to 272. They know for sure 90 of them died, but they couldn't confirm. Could not confirm, or did not.
That's
could not. Did not.
They could not confirm. Yeah, they couldn't. They could not. Again, they needed that one extra word, right?
I feel like you could have.
Yeah, but
it's toxicology report. Why?
But maybe they weren't looking into that because they
If you don't know what you're looking for, I could get it. They didn't know what
these people were dying. They probably did the basic tox results. It came in conclusive, so they just said natural death or something, right? I don't know who knows what that's on their death certificate because they didn't know. Now they know what to look for. They did different tests to check. It was like, look it, ooh, boom, this has this has it, whatever he was using to kill them.
Well, and that's probably what this guy meant when he said the new evidence come to light. Yeah, because new evidence has come to light. Like, yeah, they got more evidence of some kind there. So,
yeah,
maybe in some of the cases they have the toxicology reports from the deaths of the more recent packages he sent out, where they knew to be looking for it, because they were obviously onto this guy before they busted him.
For sure, yeah.
If convicted, he faces imprisonment for life with no possibility of parole for 25 years. So they're saying what you're saying. After 25 he could get out.
Yeah. Life in prison. Nope, that's 25 years. Like, fuck you, Canada. Fuck you and your...
25. Why even call it life?
Because life. And that's a funny thing. Not funny, but like stuff that's a piece of shit too. If you want to look at him again. But like this is completely different.
Here's what was his name? Kenneth Law.
Yeah. If you get a 25, do you have a lifetime warranty on something? You're like, oh, lifetime? Nope, that's 25 years.
Yeah,
right? So,
that's good for 20 years, maybe.
So, yeah, lifetime, right? So whose life? Well, nobody, yeah. But no, Canada is so fucking weak on laws here. It's unreal. People get away with... Like, 25 years is not enough to serve. He should never get out of jail again. I hope he's someone's bitch in jail. I hope he's in public and he gets what... Don't let him die. Just let him have a few beatings from here to here. But yeah, I don't have anything else on here. Do you?
No, I think that's about it.
Okay. Well, yeah.
They're going to make it go quicker, and they're upping the charges.
Perfect.
Good on both fronts. Get this shit done. Because this is an insane amount of evidence. So it's just like... It's where when you got angry about him saying not guilty, I kind of do too, because he's knowingly wasting time.
Exactly.
Unless he's stupid. But also, you have your rights, and I would never tell somebody not to use their rights. Just use them. Because they might fuck up, and you might be free if they fuck up.
Okay. Once again, I'd like to thank everybody for being here and watching the show. We always have a good time. Thank you for both joining in on the conversation. If you haven't already, please click that follow button. You can also follow us on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and X, formerly known as Twitter. You can find all that at borderlinebanter.com.
Again, also, with the former there.
You know? Also, we always like to have people on our show. If you want to come on by or be a guest, drop us a line. There's a few questions at the bottom, but yeah, just shoot us an email. If you have any questions, tips, shoot a message too. I will respond to all of them. And as always, we like to finish the show as it is okay not to be okay. That is right. There's a number 988. That's North American wide. It's a good number. Reach out. It's okay. need to talk to somebody, Ranger is sometimes the best person to talk to. Lots of other information on there too for different lines, veterans, different problems, and it shows you signs of friends and family that might be going through something that you might not realize. Some great information there. Check it out if you want. Share it. But yeah, Dustin, thanks for being here again. Thank you, Pumpkin, for coming on by. No, that's Peanut, isn't it?
That's Peanut.
Yeah, yep. Sorry. Have anything to say?
The show, bud?
Yeah, have anything to say before we go?
Just thanks everyone for being here. Leave me some comments on the YouTube. Peanut.
Yeah, saying hi, everybody. Okay, and yeah, thanks again, everybody. And we will see you Monday at 7 o'clock p.m. Thanks for his butthole there. I appreciate that. But we will send you off to my buddy Skittles today. He's a friend. He plays some Grand Theft Auto. Let's send you his way. Enjoy, guys. Stay safe.
And he's gone now. He literally knew the outro was happening. And yeah, that's his signature move. The look at my butt.
What
move.
All right, there's a green pro.
Oh, do I have this mute?
Yeah, that'll work. How many turbos?
What up, yo?